hankering for a really good homemade plain old cake. And the other night I was lying in bed and I was like, what is the name of that cake where you drip the milk in it? And you know, it's like something about triple milk. And then I looked it up and it's called Leches. And it has always appealed to me. It looks so good. I have never had it, so I have no idea. This could be a bomb, a major fail. But I thought, I'm going to make it and I might as well bring you guys along. So we're going to make Tres Leches cake today. Tres Leches means 3. So in this bowl, I have a half a cup of butter. The recipe says that you can use margarine. And I have 1 cup of sugar. I don't know why it won't focus. Let's see what's going on here. There we go. And we're going to cream that together until it's really creamy. I didn't melt or soften the butter. It was in the fridge, so it's going to let it cream together so that it gets creamy. So before I go on, you probably noticed I had the wrong paddle on. I had the bread making paddle, this one. And so I had to switch it, well, that one. And I had to switch it because it wasn't creaming the butter. I was like, what the heck's going on? But anyway, I fixed it. So to this sugar and butter, we're going to add 5 eggs. And don't worry about trying to write the recipe down right now. I'm going to put the link to this recipe in the description box, the one that I'm using. And then we're going to add a half a teaspoon of vanilla to this. And then we're going to put this and let it mix around till it's all creamy. So to the eggs and sugar mixture, I've been adding flour, 1.5 cups of flour and a teaspoon of baking powder that have been mixed together or sifted together. I confess I don't sift, but you can. And then you're going to add that flour mixture to this batter. It says 2 tablespoons at a time. And I'm following this recipe exactly because I've never made this before, and so I'm not exactly sure why it's 2 tablespoons at a time, but anyway, after every 4 tablespoons, I've been scraping the sides down. And that's the reason why I use my mixer to make this, because I don't know the recipe at all. So that's going to be pretty much the batter of the cake. And then you're going to put this in a 9 by 9 greased and floured pan. Like so. And bake it at 350. So our cake's in the oven at 350 for 30 minutes. And one thing I noticed, it seems like it's not very much batter for the pan, but I think the trick of this cake is it soaks up all these milks once it's cooled. So I thought while it's cooking, I'll show you what you're going to need. You're going to need 1 whole can of evaporated milk, 1 can of sweet condensed milk, and I think it was a cup or something. We'll go over it after, but anyway, you're going to need whole milk, and then it's topped with whipped cream. So yeah, this is the low-calorie version, I'm sure. But anyway, it's just so appealing to me. It sounds so good. And my grandsons are coming over later because this is not a cake, I don't think, that can sit around a long time. It's refrigerated, and I know they will definitely help us eat this. So just so you know, these are the milks you're going to need for the Tres Leches cake. So here's our cake just out of the oven. It's still hot, and you're supposed to take a fork and poke all over the whole cake. And I'm sure these holes are what the milk is going to soak into the cake later. I can't even imagine, but it smells so good. It smells like old-fashioned cake. So there. Now you have to let it cool to room temperature before you go on to the next step. So I have added my milk mixture, and again, the recipe will be in the description box, and you pour the whole thing on top of the cake, and then it will soak into the cake, but I think it takes a minute or 2, so I'm just helping it along with more pokes because I was out for a couple hours, and so I didn't do it right away. Ozzy's here now, so he's going to help. Just poke some holes. And then we'll leave it for a little minute and it'll soak all into the cake.
Oh. Do you want to buy?
So we'll be back once it's all soaked in, right, bud? So I'm just finishing up, whipping up. I think it's about 2 cups of whipped cream. That's probably done. And half a teaspoon of vanilla. And I put about 3/4 of a cup of icing sugar in. So I'm just going to take the cake out of the fridge right now and top it with the whipped cream. So I'm getting Turner to try the cake. One thing I would say is that it should probably sit overnight so all the milk can soak in, but we're kind of rushing it because we want to see how it tastes. So take a piece of the cake, Turns. Is it good? Is it really good? What's it taste like?
No.
Is it good though? Is it like a homemade cake?
And milky.
Is it kind of sort of, but it's not soggy. That's what's so weird. So you think this is a 2 thumbs up recipe? I'm going to try some of yours, can I? I'm just going to try some of Turns. I have just all my life wanted to taste, whoops, the cake. Yeah, you're exactly right. It's really good. It is kind of milky. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the tray Leches cake. You can see where I picked up Turner's piece. There's still a lot of milk in there. But having said that, I'm sure by tomorrow this will have soaked up all of the milk inside of the cake. So this is what our cake looks like overnight. And I highly recommend that you let it sit overnight. Richard gave it a 10 last night, but today it is absolute perfectness. Look at this. And you can see like the cake part, it's still cakey, but it's extremely moist from all the milks that is soaked through. And as I said before, this is so high in calorie. It's one of those decadent, delicious desserts that you might want to serve for company or a special occasion, but I don't think you'd eat this every day because it would clog your arteries. But anyway, give this a try. I'm glad I did. I've always wondered what it tastes like, and it is really good. And it's not sweet. It's incredibly not a sweet cake. It's sort of like an old-fashioned cake that is so rich in moisture. So yeah, look at that. So Richard says he's having this for lunch. So thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.